Hi, I'm Jay.
And I'm Kay.
And we're that couple next door. You're listening to the Casual Swinger Podcast. This is the part where we're supposed to give you the safety warning, like if you're too young, don't listen. If you're offended by sex-positive talk, don't listen. And yeah, I agree. If any of those categories apply to you, don't fucking listen.
That means you're lame.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sadly, we're not going to see them in Hedo because I was really looking forward to fucking them.
No, but you will hear some sort of sexy tale that they're going to tell you tonight. And if you're into that kind of thing, you should totally check out our podcast.
We have lots of sexy stories.
We do.
Yeah.
ThatCoupleNextDoor.com is our website. And you can find us on any podcast listener by searching for That Couple Next Door.
And have a red light night.
Hey guys, welcome back to Casual Swinger. Mallory here.
And this is Mickey.
And we're doing the music episode today.
Ooh, that's our jam.
Yeah. But let's talk about that disclaimer there.
Oh, that's right, J and K. What's up?
I love those guys.
That's That Couple Next Door. They stepped in. You know, these are our anniversary episodes, and they stepped in and did a little intro for us. And I really like Kay's voice is so sexy,
right?
Like it just makes me want to like stand here and hump the air.
Yeah, it's masturbatory.
Yeah, a lot of it. Not gonna
Is
lie.
that creepy?
Yeah, but you know, I think that Jay's affection for your bad fucking jokes is, I think he wants you to like him.
He has no idea how strong my mom jokes are. Like,
I know how strong
I
they
got
are.
another one for him.
Oh fuck.
Let's throw this out there. So this is just for. Why did Adele cross the road?
Oh God, why?
To say hello from the other side.
Oh, it is the music episode, for God's sakes. You
It's
had to bust
perfect.
out another music joke.
Love it. Love it. So what do we got going on today?
Hello, it's me. I'm going to do it in Elmer Fudd's voice. Hello, it's me.
No, that's not this episode.
Okay.
No, sir.
All right, what are we talking about this week? Before we get into any of the crazy stuff we're going to do with music this week, which, by the way, we're going to talk about your play styles, your playlists, your fun, your sexy time. What do you listen to? How do you build a playlist for sex?
Yeah. Yeah. Music is such an integral part of our relationship and who we are as people. It's easily translates to the bedroom.
Well, yeah, for you, because me, it just messes up my rhythm when I'm trying to get my horizontal hula on and you're playing R. Kelly.
You have some caviats.
Right.
So
I got rhythm
do too,
till you
though.
start music.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, I look like a lane trying to dance.
Wow.
That was good, wasn't it? You
Wow.
like that?
Your impression of yourself is really on point.
You know, I feel like I play me better than anybody could.
I don't know. I do a pretty good one. Fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on.
Crappy ads. The crappy ads section.
I love our ads. This is updates for the ongoings, what to look forward to, where you can find us, see us, come join us, party with us.
Yeah, we really
like
don't
this.
have sponsors or anything like that. So we just kind of call our like what's up with us section our crappy ads section. I don't know if we can always call it crappy ads because one day if we get a sponsor, we can't call our ads crappy.
No, that's probably true.
But until then,
Yeah. So what's coming up next? What is immediately on the agenda?
we're leaving for Hedo in the morning.
In the morning.
In the
Hey,
morning. Get it?
hey.
Morning.
Yeah, by the time you guys are listening to this, I'll be naked on the beach.
I'll be naked too.
Yeah.
But I might not be at the beach. I could be in the massage hut. I could be in the room. I could be having sex on the stairs. I could be in the pool. I could be anywhere when you listen to this.
Well, now I feel boring.
Well,
All right, I gotta up my Hedo game. All right.
But at that Hedo event, we're going to do something that you guys need to pay attention to. We play a game while we're there with Rachal's Rascals that we call What's Under My Hat. I wear all kinds of crazy hats. It drives Mallory crazy.
I don't know about crazy because I do. I have the ability to easily spot you in a crowd.
Yeah.
So for that benefit, it's great. Spoiler alert, I have matching headbands this trip.
Yes, you do. You are getting in on the hat game.
I am.
However, what we're going to do is we're going to play a game called What's Under My Hat. We're going to play this game on Twitter. So you got to follow us on Twitter. Why can't we do this on Facebook or Instagram? Because we tried it last year and I got kicked off of Facebook. Fuck you, Facebook. Because of an illegal sweepstakes. That's what they said. We're giving away a T-shirt.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we can't do it on Facebook, but we can do it on Twitter. It's not a sweepstakes. We're just giving away some toys or a T-shirt. So those toys are courtesy of casualtoys.com. See, there's the crappy ad section.
I absolutely love that game, and I can't wait. So we're going to Hedo tomorrow, and what comes next, right? The holidays. So we got Christmas, New Year's. And we will be at Secrets with Double Date Nation and Swinging Down Under.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to that. So what's it? The double date event, I think is what we're going to call it. Double your pleasure.
Love it. I know with family, kids, around the holidays, it's hard to get out. So if you miss New Year's, definitely come out and see us that weekend.
Well, yeah. And, traditionally that weekend's kind of slow at a lifestyle club, but I think this is actually going to be a really good opportunity for people because when you go on New Year's, it's so busy.
It is.
And this is going to give you an opportunity.
It's expensive, too. It can be like when you attire, accommodations.
Yeah, so leave the ungrateful little bastards at home that you just bought all that stuff for Christmas and come hang out at Secrets with us and Swinging Down
Get
Under.
rested, refresh, and have some me time. And when I say me time, I mean Mallory time.
That's right.
Come hang out with me.
So, come hang out with Mallory. That's fuck Kate. She's not coming from Singapore
and Kate
or anything.
Too, of course. I sounded like a jerk. That's not what I meant.
It's going to be super awesome. We cannot wait for it. And that's the double date event at Secrets Hideaway in Orlando, Florida. So we're looking forward to that in January. And then let's see, coming up right after that, this just happened like yesterday.
Yeah, so we have a little bit of a birth between January and May, but like once May 2020 starts, it's off the fucking chain.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Right?
What are we doing?
Bert.
Bert.
That's
The
right. Birdie boy.
So cool. We absolutely love Bert Kreischer. We saw him twice last year. And we're going to be able to see him again in May here in Orlando.
Yeah, and Kate's coming from Singapore, so she's going to come with us.
How's the fucking cool is that?
It is going to be really, really neat. We love Bert, the machine, Kreischer, and he is an absolute blast. And he always goes out drinking somewhere after, so I'm sure we'll catch up with him and try and get another picture of, you guys with your tits out.
I
posing
have
with Bert.
to. Like, it's tradition now.
It is.
Like, I have to get that picture taken.
No question about it. We absolutely have to do that photo again. If nothing else, I get to see you guys with your shirts off. So I'm pretty excited.
We
but
do.
That is going to be so much fun. We're really, really excited about that. And then immediately thereafter, which is the whole reason that Kate's actually going to be in Florida, is PCAP, Podcast-A-Palooza.
Whoop, whoop, Miami.
Oh, yeah, in May. Going to be awesome. We got, 10 content creators because we have both bloggers and podcasters that are going to be there giving really insightful panels and events for you guys. A lot of P's, panels, parties.
Yeah, performers.
Performers, yeah, fire performers.
Yeah.
There's going to be all kinds of neat stuff. But I think the cool part from my perspective is getting some of those insightful stories and panels and stuff that maybe you don't hear on the air, kind of like what we're talking about. Right?
Exactly. Little teaser for you guys out there. So we're going to talk about what happens when the shit actually hits the fan. And these are stories and insights on things that actually happen in our lives. They're fun. They're funny. But they also have like a moral to the story, kind of like an Aesop's fable for adults.
Yeah.
So we look forward to talking to you guys about those things and having a good time.
Yeah, kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly, right?
Literally, and stuff we can't talk about on the air.
Yeah, there are literally stories that we can tell that I absolutely can't tell on the air because it'll get me killed. So we absolutely can't do it. But we can tell them in person, so that'll be fun. And then coming up right after that, in June with iOS Connections.
Summer swing. Baby, back to Hedo.
So if you guys want to come to Hedo with us, reach out to us on our website at casualswinger.com. We just put up a new Contact Us page. We also have a Travel With Us page. Both of them will reach out to us. Send us your information and let us know you're interested in June 2020. It's going to be a great week. And, people ask us all the time, why June? Why are you going in the summer?
Well, there's many reasons, right? Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty warm down there, right? I love the sun, but it's also after the kids get out of school,
Yeah, and some people will be, well, family vacations or summer baseball or this or that or the other. Now, the whole idea here is that you actually can get away.
Right.
And you should get away, and it's going to be a great time to go, and it's also one of the cheapest times of the year to go to Hedo.
That is correct.
So
it's definitely one of the more affordable.
Yeah, if you've ever thought about going, you definitely want to consider this. It's worth it and just awesome. But let's talk about Hedo for a minute because it is Hedo week.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm excited. We haven't been to Hedo since February. Right?
I know. It feels like a year.
It feels like it's been forever.
Oh.
I think it's been long enough that I gained weight, so I'm really not happy.
Oh, you and me both. But I love you. I think you look hot.
I can still see my knees. So that's all that matters. But we're going with our friends, Rachal's Rascals. That's Jim and Rachel. You guys heard from them a few episodes back where we interviewed those guys. You know, what happens with the Rascals?
Oh my God, we have so much flippin' fun, man. We have the most ridiculous, absurd games that are a hoot to play and watch. We have our pool parties. We have lots of sex.
Lots of sex.
While we're down there at Hedo. I mean, it creates an environment. And even if it's only sex with each other, with you and I, it's amazing just to like have no outside influences. Just be totally present and get down and dirty.
Yeah,
I love it.
We talk about stripping away like all the worries and leaving our troubles behind. I did that on Twitter today with a picture of your ass as you were walking away.
Aww.
But, you know, the idea is to get down there. Of course, you got the mirrors on the ceiling and it's the music and the reggae. And it's just awesome. It's a great time to get down there. And our friends are there with the Rascals, who we absolutely adore. But, you know, I guess, you know, I think about Hedo and I think about resting and relaxing with my favorite person in the world. That'd be you.
I thought you were going to say Rasta Ralphie.
Oh,
I'm so
never
glad
smoke
it's me.
weed with Rasta Ralphie. That's a bad.
He smoked lazy weed.
Is he still alive? He was like 10 years
Dude,
ago.
he literally looks like he's a man, like the man of the sea.
Yeah,
Like
the old man.
literally, it's
And those muscles.
he doesn't have an ounce of body fat.
Dude's fucking ripped. He eats fish all day and fishes and dives
Yeah,
down.
he married us. Remember that?
Yeah, he did. He's the first
With
guy
a
that married
drum,
us.
with a drum, we told him we were getting married, and then he did the ceremony over a drum, and then gave us his phone number. And since then, I've probably seen 700 of those drums with his phone number on them.
Yeah, he charged us $30 for the fucking
did.
drum.
He did. So funny.
Speaking of drum, though, I'm going to get a drum full of rum cream. I'm going to have some dirty bananas. You see some of our favorite Hedo 2 employees.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Paulette and Kemp and Eldon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Michael, can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
So that's going to be pretty cool. And, you know, maybe I'll get lucky and maybe catch a video of you doing something dirty. That's kind of my secret wish.
You want something like that while we're down there?
Secret time.
Yeah, love it.
Kind of hot.
I want a little like MFM action, I think.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
And I can't promise I won't sneak away with a lady friend.
Do that shit too.
I think like there's all the kinky, freaky stuff is starting to play through my mind. So
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I'm just gonna keep my mind and body open.
Keep your legs open. Good things will follow. Right? You know, speaking of, though, you know, and kind of moving on a little bit, because we're just kind of hanging out here tonight before we leave for Hedo, talking to you guys, which it's a different sort of podcast for us. And we usually sit around, listen to music when we do this stuff. But lately, you know, today was the first day we got a message on one of the services in weeks.
Yeah, it's been dead. What's going on there out in the universe? Is this like the standard, you know, dead zone between, you know, Halloween and New Year's?
I don't know. Maybe Halloween is so overcharged. You know, Secrets had 1,300 attendees.
I
Halloween.
believe that.
It was crazy.
There's so many people there.
Yeah, that was absolutely nuts. I kind of think that Kick is partially to blame.
Ooh, okay. I see where you're going with us. Yeah, because they announced they're shutting down. Everyone scattered like ants. What are we going to do? What platform are we going to use? There's a lot of conversation. We even talked about it on our podcast.
Mm-hmm. And then, just kidding.
Yeah. What the fuck?
We're actually not going away. We're just going to add shitty ads to this platform.
Well, somebody bought that part of the service, right?
They did, and they added ads so they could keep it. And I think that's brilliant. They bought a great platform with, you know, hundreds of thousands of users, and then started marketing to them, which is fantastic.
Right.
Brilliant move on their part. But I think a lot of people abandoned the platform and switched to Wire and Telegram.
I think you're onto something there.
Or Telegraph.
Tell
Steve. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to call it.
Telephone?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tell us something. We didn't do it. We haven't switched over. We're still on Kick. But even like SDC is slow and Cassidy's slow and SLS is slow every once in a while.
Except if you're traveling.
Oh God, yes.
That's a discussion we have like skirted around and like overviewed between you and I. Maybe that's something we should like rekindle and start talking about that again, because if that's where the opportunity is and that's what our schedules look like.
Yeah,
you know, maybe that's an option.
Maybe we
during the slow times
say, hey, we're going to travel to a city and just go meet some people. Or you know what we could do? We could be really enterprising and create a travel date in our own city, so we pop up on everybody's radar.
Well, Will that work?
I don't
because
know.
we're located here?
I don't know, but
Maybe
I'm gonna
like the
find
next
out.
town over?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're traveling to Tampa from Orlando. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
We're
We'll see.
soliciting sex over here, folks.
But
Pick me, pick me, pick me.
so we're on a new one, like legit. We're on Quiver now.
Yes.
Speaking of services.
I think it's a really pretty platform. I'm interested to see what the interactions are going to be like moving forward. We've been on there for about a month, month and a half, maybe.
Yeah, they actually just kind of gratis gave us a platinum membership. So
Oh,
which
that's
is super
so
nice of them.
sweet.
Well, and they want to build it up here in Orlando, which we really appreciate. But when you've got, we've got SDC, we've got SLS, we've got Cassidy, we have Double Date Nation, now we have Quiver. It seems like you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a service these days.
See what you did there.
Right? But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. SDC is definitely the big one here in Florida.
Yeah, and I think they're all tied to their specific geographies where they're more predominant. Like Cassidy, I think when we were up in the Northeast Mid-Atlantic area, that was a little more prolific up there.
Yeah,
So
Cassidy's definitely bigger on the West Coast. Cassidy is like the West Coast jam. SDC is bigger on the East Coast in general. But I remember up north, when we were up north, it was Love Voodoo. Love Voodoo was like all
yeah,
of
that's
it.
right.
And then they just kind of went away. And
Yeah,
I
because
think,
they had a lot of parties up at Taboo in Baltimore.
yeah, so that was kind of a thing up there. But that's going on. And, we're Casual Swinger everywhere, guys. So if we get on a new service, we're Casual Swinger if you go looking for us. But why don't you kind of fill everybody in on what we're going to talk about today? Because this is your jam. And guys, this whole episode was Mallory's idea. This was all her.
So if it's a flop, you guys can blame me. I see what you did there too.
No, I think it's brilliant. I love this because it's such a big part of our lives, and I think you deserve credit for it. You do so many good creative things on the show, and because I have such a big mouth, people don't always know that it's you, so I think they should.
Thanks, honey. So music has been, like I said, an integral part of our lives together. That's literally how we started conversing, and then it escalated to dating. We enjoy it so much. So I love having music at parties, when we're having friends over, at swinger events, and definitely in the bedroom. Now, we've overcome some challenges there between you and I because our interpretation and mindset's different. And we're going to go over some tips, tricks, experiences, and have a little game in there too.
Yeah, a little bit. So we're coming up. We're gonna come back from a break, and when we do, we're gonna. We were just getting ready to say this show's not gonna be a music show. It's gonna be a fucking shit show.
Yeah,
so.
that's fine. I'm fine with a shit show. And if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it all the way. So Mickey, why don't you tell everybody where they can find us?
Oh, you think that shit's funny?
It's on.
I knew that was coming.
Gauntlet dropped.
Well, we're going to come back just after this. We're going to do a little bit of swinging in the news in our segment today. We're going to talk about some fun things that are going on. But before we take off, why don't you guys make sure to come find us? You can find us on casualswinger.com, where we have a brand new contact us page in addition to our travel with us page. We're on SDC, we're on SLS, we're on Cassidy, we're on Quiver, we're on Double Date Nation, we're on Snapchat, we're on Kick, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. We're all over the freaking place. But don't forget, make sure to check out casualtoys.com. And if you do check out casualtoys.com, use code REDLIGHT. REDLIGHT is the code for that couple next door. You support not one, but two podcasts that hopefully you love. And if you do love them, make sure to check us out on Apple Reviews, where we could use a podcast review because your validation makes it so I can get off.
You did fabulous.
Like that?
Excellent work, sir.
Hey, that was my first time doing it too. I was like a virgin. Everybody, we'll be right back after this. You're listening to Casual Swinger. Welcome back, everybody, to Casual Swinger. My name's Mickey.
And I'm Mallory.
Oh, here you go singing again.
I'm just getting prepped.
Yeah, you better get those pipes warmed up because we got some bad music dubbing coming for you guys.
And I'm
at the
such a
end.
bad singer. We may lose some listeners.
Oh, we're going to lose a lot of listeners because I suck at it too. But, that's one of the things we got coming here for you. We're going to play a little game at the end of this segment. And that game is where we're going to sing songs that you're supposed to know and the other person has to guess what artist and song you're talking about.
Well, and it's not just like songs you're supposed to know. It's the reworked worded versions, like misheard lyrics.
Oh boy.
With a sexual twist.
Oh boy. Okay, this is just so fucked up, but it's going to be a blast.
Well, and the whole reason behind that is because can I go down this?
Oh yeah.
And have my little diatribe?
It's our show. Have a good time.
Something that I do innately, it's the weirdest thing. I hear a song and immediately I have to change the lyrics to something sexual or fucking weird. And then it kind of ruins that song for me moving forward. And if there's a lot of words or song that I enjoy, like if I latch on to the lyrics like that, it's over for me. Like that's all that exists in my world, and then I lose my shit. So anyway,
well, that's happened to us more than one time in the car, and there's been a few times you've turned around to take a swipe at me for ruining one of your songs. So
yeah,
that's it's going to be fun. We're going to get into that a little bit, but let's talk about the perfect play playlist.
Let's talk about sex, baby. No,
it's already about sex.
Soon?
You can't fuck that one up.
Okay.
Let's talk about chess, baby. No.
Aw.
See, haha, did it.
Yeah. Anyway. So let's talk about building the perfect playlist, because there's so many ways to do this depending on what the environment it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, and is it just you and somebody else? Is this like couple sex? Is couple sex and playtime like threesome or foursome sex? Is that a different playlist for you?
Might be. It depends on the audience.
Really?
I put a lot of thought into it. Yeah, for like new folks, it'll probably be like something a little safer, sexier. Really, really low volume, like almost inaudible, but enough in the background to kind of give like something during the pauses and the silent moments, right?
Really?
When we're wrapped up, yeah.
It blows me away. I don't
You
really
really
think
need
about
to look at my Spotify sometime.
I'm worried about your Spotify. I mean, so you like?
I have a Fuck Me Hard playlist.
Wow. Mallory has a Fuck Me Hard playlist, everybody. Did you hear that shit?
I have.
So let's cover that. You actually.
Sexy foreplay list.
What?
Yeah.
I really need to look at your Spotify.
You
I
really
need to
do.
monitor your behavior, apparently. So when you went out like for a Hot Wife play, you took a speaker with you, and I was like, oh, she's taking a speaker, big deal. But apparently you had prepped a playlist for this.
I did.
So let's talk about your playlist. What went on it and why?
Okay, so that one, the majority of it was sexy. I want to say R&B.
Okay, your baby making music.
Yeah. So R&B genre, but over multiple decades.
Okay,
like they all had a very similar tone and played. Again, it was present, but it wasn't the predominant thing in the room. Mm-hmm. So like if one of us was moaning or talking, like you could hear the other person. It wasn't overbearing. But also, I don't have bump and grind on there anymore. Because it was very distracting and hilarious in the moment.
So what's most important, and I actually just had a thought, right? So I actually had lunch.
I saw the light bulb go off.
I know, it was crazy. Did you see that? My eyes light up. So before I get to my question, actually, I was going to, because I do have a question for you. But, you know, when I had lunch with Mixed Nuts today, and love those guys. Super cool.
Yeah, Corey and Brenda are good peeps.
Yeah, and so I had lunch with him today. Well, I had lunch with Corey, and it's funny because we talked about music a little bit, and we talked about what's going on in some of the clubs. They have these silent DJ parties where people wear headphones, and everybody's dancing to different music in the same club.
Wait, is that what that post was about?
Yes.
Hold on. Can we do this in our home? And invite people over,
right? But I want to see the one person dancing to polka while somebody else is dancing to EDM.
I will be rocking the Carlton and then fuck everybody up. Shopping cart,
right?
Lawnmower, back to Carlton.
But I want to have a silent DJ party where everyone's having sex with headphones on to different music. You're not.
I
happy
almost
with
feel
me
like
now.
you're making fun of deaf people now. Now I feel bad.
I actually hadn't thought of that. Why do you
that
always
was
think
insensitive?
No, well, I didn't mean to be. I didn't even think that was.
But
I didn't have a fantasy about having sex with a deaf person until now.
Really sexy with your headphones on now, but if we were throwing down, I don't know that I could keep a straight face because like they wobble a little, right?
Right. Well,
like what if
I look like Princess Leia?
Yeah. What if the ear pad like comes flying off and smacks me in the face and I get mollywopped by your headset?
I don't know. That'd be funny. Not
Who
gonna lie.
you?
So so what's most important? Because we are talking about building a sexy playlist. And I know we're all over the fucking place tonight, so sorry guys. But, obviously you want to build an experience between you and the person you're with, or you and the other people that you're with.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we had a threesome one time where the bitch wanted to play Threesome by Britney Spears over and over and over again.
The song's actually called 3, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on repeat for like 2 hours to the point where I couldn't even hear the name Britney Spears without twitching.
Now, that's a way to ruin an environment
Yes.
with music, right?
Yeah.
So what's most important to build a good environment? Is it the beat? Is it the rhythm? Is it the words? What's the most important thing to build whatever environment you're trying to build?
Are you asking me directly?
I
Okay.
am. You're the
All
woman.
right.
I get off it
So
when the wind blows.
again, it depends on the environment and the atmosphere you're creating. Let's say, hypothetically, we're inviting people over, maybe not a house party, maybe an more intimate gathering, but let's say we have 5 to 6 couples here, right?
Mhm.
Maybe a small house party. So the plan's going to be come over, have some drinks, loosen up, some snacks, maybe dinner. So during that time, it's a little more upbeat, without being like the house trance EDM music.
Mhm.
Maybe songs everyone knows mixed in there, little 80s rock, or something that's current, but not extreme, because we're only getting the party started. And after dinner, after that first section of cocktails, it could go one of 2 ways. Yeah, you take a left and you put on the sexier, maybe slower R&B side. Maybe you stream over to the EDM if you're trying to inspire a little kink play, maybe a little dancing. Or maybe it's more of a hip hop pop where you want to have a little fun dancing and be bubbly before sexy time comes on.
So you're actually, to build a perfect playlist, you're actually building to something. You're telling a story. So the beginning of the evening is the getting to know you, have the music on in the background, maybe songs that people know, and then move into something that brings people closer together.
Exactly. And I kind of feel really like a creepy Pied Piper when I'm cultivating.
Follow me to orgasm, folks.
And curating these playlists for when we have these types of activities. But I'm also up to adjusting. Sometimes the mood shifts a little, and I'd like to accommodate that. And we have the ability to do it in multiple rooms and play different songs and playlists. So say, we're going to have a little kink upstairs. That room will have different music playing than maybe down here where we're still socializing or where people are, enjoying a more vanilla-esque atmosphere.
Sure. Well, and I'm a giant nerd, so every room has different lighting controls and different music controls, or the same, depending on what we want to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is kind of neat. This house is kind of built for play. It's too bad our fucking kids won't leave, but hey, whatever.
I think the only thing I haven't ever had sex to or have used on playlists, and I like all music. So I listen to country. I love Red Dirt, but I would never put it on in an environment like that because there's very few songs that inspire, I feel, sexy for everyone, and country's not something that's beloved by everyone.
I would agree, and I've never wanted to have sex and fix my tractor at the same time.
Or find my dog.
Right. I mean, it's just not something I've ever been I can't wait. And, then some sad song comes on about losing your friend, and you're oh, no.
Yeah.
Now you just start looking off and looking solemn. It's just no fun. But, let's talk about go-tos then. So we talked about kind of what we want to achieve in the playlist. We want to achieve bringing people together. Now,
exactly.
You said when you're with somebody specific, just one person, that you have different playlists that you can pick depending on how the evening's going.
Yes.
If you're building a playlist for a group of people, then you want to build to some sort of a crescendo. You want to bring people together over the course of the evening.
Correct.
What are your personal go-tos? Now, we all know, we heard on that episode, it was the Man episode, what was the King of the Jungle episode with Tyler, where we talked about how much you liked R. Kelly. So what else? What is your go-to for sexy time music? And then I'll tell you mine.
Okay. So I've gotten down to just about anything. I've had sex to Enya, for crying out loud.
How?
I'm not kidding. I have no shame. It worked. It was very sensual and like spiritual in a way. Stop. You sound more like Sloth than you do Enya.
That's how Enya sounds to me.
But maybe it's my age. I don't know, but like there's something about 90s R&B that just fucking does it for me. And obviously R. Kelly's on there, but like Adina Howard and 112, Mary J. Blige, Keith Sweat.
Wow.
I'm really going down there. Isley Brothers, like Contagious. Yeah.
Really?
How does it feel?
So clearly
by
I missed it, 'cause when I think
D'Angelo?
about your music, I'm like, some guy going, "Where do you see my dick?" And I'm like,
That's actually another song I've listened to and had sex to. That's Ying Yang Twins.
oh, okay.
That's the Whisper song. But like, I love having that element of sensuality to where, you could have a fast, hot, and hard fuck session to that music, as well as a slower, more sensual, intimate sex session. And I don't really have to shift the playlist too much.
I got to say, for me, if I have to pick something, and maybe it's just kind of just my headspace, but
Yeah.
I love reggae. I love the beat of reggae. I don't get as wound up in the words as I do because, when I love music in ways that I can't even describe to you. I love songwriters. I love poets. And the words hang me up. If there's too many words, I'm in trouble. So my command of patwa is not very good. So I like reggae because I can't hear what they're saying, and I just hear music and the beat, and I'm like, sweet, and it makes me think of Hedo, and then I just want to go ahead and throw down. But if I had to talk about some of my past hits,
Oh, here we go.
and this is gonna date me a little, but
Yeah, I love these.
I hate you sometimes. But I'm gonna start with the granddaddy of them all, 9 Inch Nails.
How have you had this on your playlist and we've not listened to it and had me like tied up, bound, and like smacked around a little?
It's only 9 o'clock. We have time. Right.
Yay.
Yeah, we will tie you down with zip ties, and I will make you look
That's
all red.
interesting.
And you look like a baboon when you walk into Hedo. Your ass will be so red.
Okay, let's dial it back just one level there.
But hey, so the other one, and I got to tell you, in college, this was like, first of all, we had CDs, right? So not
Yes, we had mixed CDs.
right, and my CDs were just jam packed with Lords of Acid,
That
like straight up fucking music.
Yeah.
Like that's what they made it for. They
Exactly.
made it to fuck to, right? So Lords of Acid, 9 Inch Nails, The Prodigy, Crystal Method.
Those are all great. I have those on playlists today.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, I bet you don't have this one on there. And this was like when I was DJing back in college.
Okay.
This was definitely something that I played when I thought people were ready to start, getting close. Enigma.
Ooh. Have had sex to that.
See? Wait a minute.
I feel like
what were you? Freaking 10?
Not far from it, bro. Too young. Way, way too young. But I mean, music was part of my culture growing up, regardless of my age. So I drew from many genres and decades when I was compiling music. So I didn't watch a lot of TV or any of that. The only TV I watched was MTV. But yeah, Enigma's a good one. I don't know if I have it on a playlist right now, but it should be.
Yeah, it kind of should be. And there's a lot of different genres of music that are great, and obviously you have to know your audience. For somebody that's in your same age range, stuff that I just talked about, right? Stuff like 9 Inch Nails, right? Which Closer to God. That is the ultimate fucking song. It literally says, "I want to fuck you like an animal."
Yeah.
There's some people that are not going to get into that. I mean, I can think of some of the folks that we're friends with in the lifestyle that would very much prefer a nice jazz.
Yeah.
Right? They would, then that's something to just make them feel sensual and sexy and just kind of make them want to drink their wine and flow. And that's awesome. But like you said, you have a fuck me hard playlist. So I doubt jazz is on it.
It's like shoes for the seasons, right? Like multiple audiences, multiple moods, and it almost sounds like an obsession. So I feel like I'm really weird now. But
great.
Again, it is part of knowing the people. I mean, if you're gonna have sex with them, you know enough about them to maybe have some background as to what may appeal to them. Maybe it's classical music. Maybe it's, like you said, jazz.
Do you think that there are a lot of people out there that need no sound at all, that it's a distraction to you?
Aside from you, I've only really met one person that has raised their hand and said as much. which obviously I appreciate because the last thing I want to do is fuck up the no pants party.
Right? No pants party is kind of the best party.
So, but yeah, I do believe they're out there.
When we talk about building the perfect playlist, which is really how we started this segment off, like how do we really create the perfect environment for a great sexy time? There are a lot of aspects to creating a great environment. And we talked about, that we have special lighting in our house. We do.
Sure.
And
a lot of people talk about that on their podcasts.
They
like
do.
creating...
Our friends, the Priory Society, talk a lot about building the perfect environment. But I think music is a critical piece of that. And knowing your audience helps, but it has to be good for you, for starters. If it's your party and your room and your space, it's got to be good for you.
Yep.
So build your perfect playlist.
Set yourself up for success and comfort. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something that you're comfortable hearing, something that you love, something that makes you feel good, something that brings good memories. Build something that matters to you and works for you. And I think that's really important advice to give folks. And it's not just music, but today it is. And we're talking about stuff where you said, so R. Kelly's off your list. Who's on your list now, by the way? If you had to pick a song right this minute that made you want to get it on, what would it be?
You really put me on the spot.
Yeah, I did.
So I've been bopping around the house singing all my fucked up songs all night. So that's what's stuck in my head. I came across a song that hasn't come up on my playlist, even though it exists. And I mentioned it just a few minutes ago. How Does It Feel by D'Angelo. Ooh. It's definitely more sexual, or Naked by, I think it's Marquise Houston. They're slow and so damn sensual. But I want to strip off my clothes slowly and touch myself in all my naughty bits.
Wow.
It makes me want to almost masturbate when I hear them. On the spot.
Do you ever listen to music while you play with yourself?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, guys definitely don't do that.
Yeah.
What we're doing is furiously looking through the next 3 things on Pornhub to try and find that one that's going to work.
I've actually found that I can achieve orgasm faster with music versus porn.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Because it gives me some imagery with some suggestive maybe lyrics, and my brain just takes it from there, and I create my own little porn.
I'm over here just looking dumbfounded, folks. We just learned something here on Casual Swinger today. We learned that Mallory prefers music to porn. Said no guy
sometimes
ever.
Yeah, sometimes I'm just too lazy and I'll just watch the porn.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our take on the perfect playlist, and now we're gonna get to the game.
Oh, I don't know how this is gonna go.
I don't
know that I want to sing.
So
can I do spoken word like William Shatner?
I don't know that it's gonna work. So we don't even know what to call this game yet. We just decided this would be kind of fun. We literally did this during dinner tonight. We said we should take a few songs apiece, 5 songs.
Okay.
And so you got to pick 5. And we each have at least 5. And you're going to just kind of take whatever the lyric is that you changed. You're going to sing it. And then the other person has to say what the song is.
Okay, you go first. When we come back.
So that's what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to call it. Maybe we'll call it Fuck That Tune. But we're going to play it in just a couple of minutes.
Two twisters. I don't know.
Right? Titty twisters. We'll be right back, folks. You're listening to Casual Swinger.
Hey guys, you are back with Casual Swinger. Mallory here.
My name's Mickey.
And we're going to play Game of Tunes.
We have a name for this game.
I'm going to be DJ Daenerys over here. No,
Ooh.
I'm kidding.
Right. Game of Bones.
Oh. Off topic. I can't wait to use my geeky toy.
That's right. We did buy a toy from Geeky Sex Toys.
Yeah.
And we used Kate's code to buy it, actually. So she got a little affiliate love on that one. We're going to play a Game of Tunes, though. And how does Game of Tunes work? We're going to sing, sort of, because neither of us can sing, shitty lyrics to a song that the other one has to guess the name of the song. And ideally, who sang the goddamn thing?
Yeah, I love misheard lyrics to the point where I make them up myself.
Yeah.
This is part of my life's work.
So this is what we're doing for your fucking entertainment before we leave for Hedo, guys. So.
But how this ties into everything just really quickly is why I curate my playlist so much is because I'll, again, catch on to these things make up my own words, lose my shit, and I can't rein myself in. After that, it's a K-hole
Right.
for me.
My
After
problem
that.
is I end up having to pull over because I'm laughing so hard because of whatever lyric has popped into my
Right?
head. And it just doesn't
So
work.
this will be fun. Will you go first?
Oh, God.
Please sing first.
God, I have to do it first. All right. You guys ready? Mallory has to tame that loon. You ready?
Wait, you're going to sing it. I have to guess what the song actually is?
Yes.
Or the line,
You have to
or
name what the
artist?
actual song is that I'm singing.
Okay, all right. I'm
All
ready.
right.
I'm ready.
Whoa, I saw her face. Now I'm going to leave her.
I'm a believer.
There it is.
Okay.
She got it.
Okay, this will be fun. Except for when I have to sing now.
It's your turn.
Okay. Might as well face it, you're a dick with a glove.
Robert Palmer addicted to love.
So
A
bad.
dick with a glove.
I need singing lessons.
Nobody likes a dick with a glove. They're no fun.
Hey, no. Safety first, kids.
All right.
You go.
It's my turn. You ready for this?
This is fun. Go.
She's sleeping with hairy guys, a furry bastard with pubic lice.
Oh my God. It's something with paradise. Wait. Sing it again.
Fuck you! I just said it. Oh, I need the Jeopardy
Oh.
song. Jeopardy
How
song?
many seconds do I have?
You're running out of time.
2 tickets to paradise. No, it's. Aw. What is it?
Cheeseburger in Paradise, Jimmy Buffett.
Oh my gosh. How did I get that wrong? Okay. I don't know that you'll get this one because it's a newer song. I got my pants off, genitals. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling good as hell.
Is that a song?
It's a song.
Is it by a person?
Yes.
Do they speak English?
Yes. Did I not speak English?
I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and help myself right now.
You have no?
I have no idea.
It's good as hell by Lizzo.
Who the hell? Is that a lizard?
I do my hair toss, check my nails.
Oh my God. I never would have gotten that. Seriously?
I love that song.
All right. It's my turn. Are we ready?
All right.
Shed a moose, can I have some more mangoes?
I love the fist bump. Is that Bohemian Rhapsody?
It is.
Oh, I love you. Shit a moose.
Can I have some more mangoes?
Oh,
We told you this game was going to be a shitstorm, guys.
I'm sorry, everybody.
All right. We ready for yours?
Yeah. You ready?
Okay.
This is easy.
Oh, God.
Kick a chicken with it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Kick a chicken with it.
You're kicking a chicken. It's Getting Jiggy with It by Will Smith.
I love the little like arm shuffle dance that comes along with it. And then I do the Elaine. The kick.
Okay. You know, I feel like I'm putting way more effort into these songs than you are.
Why?
All right. You ready, guys? Whoa, she got no hair. Woo-hoo, she shaved her pubic hair.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Can you do that again?
Fuck you.
Let's
Doesn't
live it on
make
a
a
prayer.
difference if we're naked or not. It is. It's living on a prayer.
It's living on a prayer, Bon Jovi. That was
And you know
good.
what? When that song came out, I was praying that chicks would shave their beeve. So I was
Really?
like, man, that's where that came from.
Oh my gosh. You made that up in your
Oh,
head?
yeah.
You're adorable.
Yeah, in like 87. I think we each have one left.
That's it. I have
Yeah.
like 3 that I want to do.
Okay.
Can we do 2 more?
No, I don't have 2 more. Okay, I do. I do have 2 more.
Okay, let's do 2 more.
Jesus. Okay. I don't think every listener we have is checked out at this point, but let's finish the game by all
Okay.
means.
Like the legend of the penis. All ends with beginnings.
It's Daft Punk.
Yes. I'm up all night to get lucky. Got to go find my duckies.
Fuck is wrong with you?
You should see me when I sing the whole song.
Well, I just put a camera in the shower, so we'll catch it before long.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so. Oh. All right.
What are you lamassing over there?
Yeah. All right. I said, baby, you're going to be the one that shaves me. And after my balls, You're my wonder bra.
I have no words. I have no words. It's Wonderwall by Oasis.
Okay.
I love you. Never sing that again.
Ever, ever?
Ever, ever, ever.
You don't want to be the one that shoots
Ever,
me?
ever.
Ever? After my balls?
Oh, God.
You going to do this today?
I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this one. I was trying to think of something that had more lines, and this one's really lame, but I love it. Tell me why he ain't nothing but a fart. Hey, tell me why he ain't nothing but a meat steak.
Oh, my God. Is that
You
that
know
the
it.
Backstreet Boys?
Fuck you, because you know who that is. And you know you like him.
I hate them.
No, you don't.
My cousin played them on fucking repeat forever. It was awful.
I love that her and I were in that generation where all the boy bands live.
Yeah, what you guys can't see right now is that Mallory is doing the dance like all these like boy band guys were doing. She's over here just grooving it like she's in the video while she's singing about their meat steak.
Yeah.
What the fuck? All right. So this is the last one for me.
All right. I'm so excited. I got this.
All right. This is one of my all-time favorites. I totally ruined this song for my father.
Oh, I don't know that I know this one. Okay.
Smooth masturbator. Smooth masturbator.
So 2 things. Your dad was a fan of Sade.
Yeah, he was.
How many times do you sing masturbator in that song?
A lot.
Okay.
Smoothly.
Oh, man, that was fun.
Oh, no, you have one left.
Oh, I do?
Well, yeah, because I went first.
Oh, that's right.
You just tried to bail out and leave me
It's not like
holding
I'm a
the bag.
CPA. I'm not a professional accounting person.
Oh, that is so typical of your generation.
What? Them's fighting words. Let's see. I'm going to do... Oh, this one's... Yeah. She's got electric boobs, a mohair suit. You know, I read it in a magazine. Oh, that was awful. What am I, Captain Caveman? Wow.
Captain Caveman.
Fuck my life.
It's Benny and the Jets.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
I think everyone knows that one, though, like for fucked up lyrics.
Guys, I don't know about you.
So stupid. I gotta go.
We tied in that game. We tied. So we're going to give ourselves a hand here on Casual Swinger.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I owe it all to you.
They like me. They like me. They really like me. God,
well,
that
they
was
only like me
awful.
because they stopped clapping when you started talking.
I know. What the fuck? That was absolutely terrible, but that was Game of Tunes. A game that we may never play again on Casual Swinger.
Yeah, send us your feedback. Tell us if you loved it or hate it.
Guys, we're going to be right back with Swinging in the News. You're listening to Casual Swinger.
Welcome back, everybody, to Casual Swinger. Mallory here.
And this is the non-singer, Mickey.
Oh, please. You did very well. I'm super impressed, but I'm also calling bullshit because I think you over-prepared. I think you set yourself up for success when you pitched the idea of the game at dinner, knowing you would win.
I just figured, I had put the time in to, kind of have some more mangoes. And I just thought that'd be fun. And
All right. Next round, whether we record it or not,
yeah,
it's on.
we're doing that shit in the car, aren't we?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to cover Swinging in the News. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that's going on here in the world.
Yeah, so the article and the situation you brought up kind of blew my mind. So I haven't completely wrapped my head around this situation. So let's tell our listeners about this man that's on trial for rape from a consentless threesome.
Yeah, this is, it kind of leads into something that we actually just wrote an article about for ASN and how consent is evolving in America. But out in Singapore, we were talking earlier about our friends from Singapore coming to visit. Well, in Singapore, a jobless man, roughly in his 20s, 26 years old, I believe he is, took part in a threesome back in 2016 with somebody who contacted him online about having sex with his girlfriend because it was his fantasy without her knowledge.
Yeah, that kind of blows my mind, and I think I skipped ahead in our swinging in the news, and I apologize.
Well, it's a big deal, actually, and I could see why it would hit you as hard as it did, because this is a massive violation of not just consent, but love and respect and affection. I mean, she let her boyfriend tie her up. She trusted him.
She allowed herself to become completely vulnerable to
100%.
him. Yeah.
And you know, he had brought up the idea to her of this before, and she wasn't receptive to it. She specifically told him she wasn't receptive to it. She said, "I do not consent to that." And he did it anyway, and they went to great lengths to conceal it from her. This guy knew they were concealing it from her. It is such a massive failure of consent. And this guy at 28 years old is going to serve 20 years in a Singapore jail for his transgressions, and he deserves to, I think. Maybe longer,
I mean,
honestly.
I can't imagine how that feels to open yourself up to trust someone. And then in that moment, she's literally tied down, right? When she realizes, oh my God, this is not my partner. Can you imagine the amount of fear that went through her mind in that moment?
I mean, I think terror, rage. I mean,
I'm sure someone out there listening may be able to relate, and that's so sad, and I'm so sorry for that. I cannot.
Well, and there are people that have that as a fantasy, right? That say, I do want that person.
But that's different,
and that's
though.
different. They consent to it. This person didn't at all, and so this guy's going to jail for rape, and that's, you know, we have news crawlers out there that are always crawling the web for whatever's new and interesting going on, and I have some keywords. Rape is not one of them. Threesome is one of them. No,
definitely not. That was a little bit of a shock.
Yeah, this came up under threesome, and, you know, I was really stunned to see that somebody had gone to these links, but I was happy to see that the Singapore courts charged this guy with 10 different sexual offenses, 4 charges of rape for this instance. So I think we could learn a lot, honestly, from the courts in Singapore about how to trust the victim and listen to what's being said here. And the reason that we bring this up in Swingin' in the News is because consent is a big thing for us in the last few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not only the respect for your fellow human beings, right, that comes into play. I mean, it should be a given that consent should be a thing that should not have to be requested. It should be always expected. There's another level to implied consent and express consent that we haven't considered before. You did this research for your ASN article. Yeah.
So what had happened is we saw in the news a gentleman in North Carolina had been hit for a $750,000 judgment under something that became known in the news as the Homewrecker laws in North Carolina. Now, there are 6 states that still have these laws on the books, and these laws date back to 12th century England when women were viewed as property. They were tantamount to livestock, cows, slaves. That's how they were viewed. Once a man married a woman, she became his property, and if for some reason she had sex with another man, because of course back then that's all they would do, God forbid they would have sex with a woman, if they had sex with another man, that man owed them recompense for their transgression. And that's where these laws were born, and they were 2 different laws that were born. One was called alienation of affection, and the other one was called criminal conversation. So alienation of affection means that you were wronged. They did something to you maliciously, and they hurt you. They harmed your marriage. Criminal conversation is the simple act of having sex with a married person. And that
criminal conversation.
Yeah, criminal conversation. That's still what it's called in North Carolina right now.
Boom. Mind blown.
Yeah, and so what this really came about in the consent conversation for Mallory and I, we really started talking about it around the dinner table, is the importance of consent with someone that is not the person you're having sex with, but their partner, if they're from one of these states.
Yes. So rewind to single guy discussions, right? There have been a few conversations that have been flying around, and bless Tyler for being awesome and amazing and completely transparent. But there were a few on the table there, and I addressed one guy directly, and he came back with I'm technically married. Yeah. And to me, that's a huge red flag, because that means that there's not a specific level of transparency that he is giving to me, and that there could be another person on the other end of the equation that may not be privy to the ongoings or consenting to that in their marriage.
That's right.
So at that point, I was like, okay, I appreciate your honesty. I just left. Deuces. I'm out. Because the last thing I want is drama being brought to our doorstep, right? We have a family, kids, and regular lives. That's not something we want. But I also don't want to hurt anybody. And now I don't want to set myself up to be financially responsible for someone's pain and suffering.
Well,
because in North Carolina,
yes,
that's what happens. You can literally sue the adulteress or adulterer on the opposite of your spouse for harming your marriage, and then you're fiscally responsible for recompense?
Recompense. Yeah. Well, and that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And so what Mallory's saying is, hey, I'm a good person. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But in some parts of this country, South Dakota, Mississippi, North Carolina, right? We're talking about we're not just talking about Wyoming, the least populated state in the country, which isn't one of those states, by the way. We're talking about North Carolina, one of the original 13 colonies. We're talking about a serious situation.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about is that person, if Mallory had gone through with it, because he said he was married, he did not connive. He did not lie.
Right.
He said, I'm technically married. If she had gone through with it and they had been from North Carolina, she would have had cause to sue Mallory for a criminal conversation.
Yeah. So
for
now,
money.
Yeah. So you have two avenues to go down, right? You don't ask, so plausible deniability. Or if you're told, then you have to take into consideration what the, risk factors are. Do a risk assessment. Is this something I'm willing to do knowing what I know now and moving forward with it? And it's kind of crazy to me. I almost feel like I need that Christian Grey form.
Yeah.
Before proceeding in those environments, just so every party is privy to what's really happening here, and no one's gonna go, hey, thinking back 5 years later, maybe I felt a little pressured to do that.
Yeah. Well, so the neat part about, and at least in North Carolina, is they are trying to roll these laws back in some ways.
Right.
So they managed to put in a statute of limitations of 3 years. So anything longer than 3 years, they don't allow those cases to be prosecuted all the way through. Now, keep in mind, these aren't being prosecuted like criminal cases. These are what are called torts, which are civil cases people brought against each other.
So what is a tort?
A tort is essentially a law that was never legislated, but it was created through the courts, and it was brought over by the ships from England. So these laws exist specifically because they've been legislated they've been argued in the courts, not legislated. So no state senate, no House of Representatives has ever taken this up as something should be a law. Torts have been around forever, and they allow you to seek retribution on somebody that has wronged you personally. It's not a law that went through Senate or House of Representatives at all. It's just something that's been on the books forever to allow you to go after somebody personally. It's crazy. It's utterly fucking nuts. It does not belong there at all.
Yeah, I'm like a quizzical puppy over here. My head's turning and twisting, still trying to digest all of this.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I wrote an article on it that was 5,000 words long. I'm still blown away by it.
It's a great article. It's a great article. I still can't wrap my head around how this is still applicable in the law at the state level.
Yeah, well, and think about it this way. Let me tell you how applicable it actually is. So in 2011, there was an award of $30 million.
Whoa. A civil suit goes to court. The defendant had to pay $30 million?
Well, so here's the thing about these cases. They're very rarely collected on. They're almost always used as leverage in a divorce case.
So it's revenge.
It's revenge.
Okay.
They're almost never actually collected on. Because then, it goes to appeals. And if it does go to appeals, they usually bargain these down to between $50,000 and $90,000. So let's just assume for a minute.
That's still harmful for the average family, right?
More than harmful for the average family. If the average family in America is making $55,000 at best, that is massive damage to an average family. A plea down to $50,000 that you now owe somebody is crazy. And they're used as leverage in divorce claims. It's absolutely asinine. Go check out the latest issue of ASN Lifestyle Magazine. That's asnmagazine.com. It's page 184. Yes, I wrote the article, but there's lots of content in there. I interviewed a professor from the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill School of Law, distinguished professor of law. When I brought this up to her, she was flabbergasted. Because first of all, these things do get prosecuted in North Carolina, but second of which, she'd never heard of it being used this way. But Kate from SDU brought up a case where it actually was used against somebody in a swinging situation just a couple of years ago. So it has happened already.
So this is kind of like a buyer beware, right? A little PSA out there to our listeners to make sure that you're in the know where you're located geographically, if this may apply to you, if you live in a state that still has these torts or laws in play.
Yeah.
And gaining that consent, having a witness, for example, when you engage in this kind of activity, to make sure that there's someone you can call upon in the event something were to, happen. And then that person has certain transgressions that, they want to leverage in a case where maybe they're emotionally, harmed, right? Yeah. Maybe a little unstable, maybe have a mix of emotions, and it's a tough situation to be in. Again, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it sometimes when we look at this picture as a whole and what we do to each other in this society. And if you're not engaging in these things willingly, please, God, raise your hand and say so.
Yeah.
But if you are, and then you're leveraging that time you had together because your marriage is falling apart and your relationship is falling apart, that's bad juju, man. That's harmful to, it's not just the other person that you're hurting. It's not your husband or your wife. That's somebody who could have, 3 kids to feed, or they're taking care of their mother, or
there's
they're
so
going
many
to school.
reasons.
Like that's not okay.
No, it isn't. And, Mallory makes a great point. There are 2 ways to defend yourself. If anybody's just listening to this and you're never going to read my article, then the thing that you really need to know is that there's 2 types of consent: implied consent and express consent. Implied consent does not exist. There's no such thing as implied consent.
Nope.
People would suggest it. It's not real.
In the eyes of the law,
Yes.
implied consent is not a thing.
Particularly in North Carolina. Now, the 2 ways you can do this: you can get it in writing, or you can do it verbally. If you do it verbally, if you ask somebody's husband or wife if having sex with their spouse is okay with them, make sure there's somebody there that heard it clearly, that they said, absolutely, have a great time, I'm good with it. And even better if they're not party to the action, if they're not part of this contract between the 4 of you.
For example, the said spouse that you were requesting to have sex with.
Exactly. That's kind of a bad witness, right?
Yep.
But the thing in North Carolina courts that helps that hold up is that would a reasonable person believe that you had consent? Right. So that's what your real issue is here. And you can get it in writing. You can actually get it in a text message that they're okay with it. As long as you have it, as long as you have something that a reasonable person could surmise from that interaction that you had consent, you're good to go. Or if they lie to you. So if you're hot wifing out there and they lie to you about being married, they tell you they're not, but they are, you got nothing to worry about as long as you can prove that they told you they were not. Now, if you never asked,
you need it in writing.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you never asked, that's not connivance.
Exactly. Ignorance is not an excuse in the eyes of the law in North Carolina.
Nope. Ignorance of fact can be, but that can be a difficult thing to prove. And
yes.
Do you really want to go to court over who you had sex with and make it public?
Oh, man, and think about that, especially in the, that part of the country, right? It's part of the Bible Belt. It's a very conservative part of the United States.
That's what's going on in the news. That's actually a thing right now. Somebody lost $750,000 for having sex with somebody's wife. He wasn't a swinger, but it happened. And it's because he didn't get consent. And there's a guy in Singapore who's going to jail for a very long time because he listened to a guy who said, have sex with my girlfriend, and she's not okay with it. You're a dumbass. You deserve to go to jail for that, sir. That's what's going on with swinging in the news.
Oh, man.
What a mess, right? We're going to Hedo.
Whoop, whoop. Hedo.
That's right. I'm going to pay you back. Why don't you tell everybody where to find us so we can get the hell out of here, and we will catch you guys in 2 weeks.
I got this, motherfucker. All right. We are Casual Swinger everywhere. That is now Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. If you want to message us, we are podcast@casualswinger.com. Also, you can find us as Casual Swinger on SDC, SLS, Cassidy, Quiver, Double Date Nation. And again, like Mickey said earlier in the podcast, if you want to give us some kudos, you love us, you just want to give us some affirmation because you know I live for that, please hit us up on iTunes. That
sounds like a pretty complete list. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the music episode. God. It's been kind of crazy, so but we've had a lot of fun doing it. Wild Thing. You make my heart swing.
Aww.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, until next time, we're Casually Yours. You've been listening to Casual Swinger.